my name is Tara Van Overbeck. I'm here with Cyndi Jensen, and we are going to talk about problems with transitions. We're going to base it off of her children that are, 4 children that are on the spectrum. So we're going to start with how you and your staff are preparing your children today for life after school.
I think the biggest thing that we do every day is teach them daily living skills and try to make them as independent as possible. We've been working, it sounds very silly, but we've worked very hard to teach them how to do things just like vacuum the floor, how to do things like take care of themselves, brush their own teeth. We're still working on how to properly bathe themselves, and one even working on how to potty train. So it's the biggest part of it is just gaining independence. With Madison, we are cooking occasionally, getting her to crack eggs. She doesn't follow a recipe, but as I tell her how to do things, she is doing them. She's helping to mix things, and even doing a little bit of work on the stove. Just things that we take for granted are big, huge steps for them. So
good, very nice. And then how do you have any transition plans in place for any of your children currently?
As of right now, I don't. Madison she just turned 14, and 14 is usually the age where you start thinking about transition. In about a week, there's a class on transition that I plan to attend just to get myself started in this whole process. But as of now, I feel really bad. I haven't really started anything.
Okay. And then going on your current services, what are your thoughts on services once they become adults? Well,
currently the kids have services through community mental health that last until they're about 18.
Okay.
And they have speech therapy, occupational therapy, and they have helpers that come into the house. They act as tutors, speech pathologist, teacher to the kids. And I'm hoping, I know there's another program once they age out at 18. I'm hoping that the new program is just as good. I'm not really sure. I've talked to a few parents.
Yeah. What is that program called? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, but I can find out.
Okay.
I'm hoping that it's the same, but I hear there's a few things that it lacks.
Okay.
But I since I haven't gone through it, I really don't know.
Okay.
Yet.
Cool. And then what are your thoughts on employment, and how do you think your children will react to employment?
Seeing how much they like to work at home, probably badly. But I'm very hopeful the way that we're training the kids, especially to do like cleaning, that I hope that they, when they are out in public and doing maybe a cleaning job for someone else, that they will really take the time to learn, how to vacuum properly and how to scrub a sink or how to do things like that, because we've been training them to do such a thing.
Okay.
So,
and then what are your thoughts on their living situations after when they get older?
My only thought is that they will always live with me.
Okay.
In a perfect world, what I would like to see is us to move from the city, move out to the country, have one big house that they can live with us if they want. But in a perfect world, I see the big house with us in it and 3 little houses behind us, one for each of the kids, whether it's just a little mobile home or whether it's some kind of little cottage or whatever. But I want each one of my kids to be as independent as possible. So I want each one of them to have their own space, their own, not just a room. I want them to be independent enough that they can have their own place, but close enough that I can help them whenever they need it.
Okay. So group home is not an option for you?
Not as of right now.
Okay.
I mean, unless something drastically changes or unless one of them expresses to me that that's what they want.
Okay.
To me, it's not an option. I've heard too many horror stories.
Okay.
I'm sure there's wonderful group homes out there, but as of this moment right now, I can't imagine any of the kids living in a group home. Yeah.
Okay. And then finally, what are some problems or conflicts that you foresee when your children transition into life after school?
I've heard of some horror stories with some of the workshops.
Okay.
That a lot of the adults with any type of special needs goes to. I don't know how the kids will be spending their day once they're not going to school.
Okay.
Hopefully they'll be doing well enough that they can hold down a job, even if it's part-time. If they can't hold down a job, what my husband and I have been trying to do is start a business for each one of the kids.
Okay.
Like Teddy, our oldest, she's doing very well, and she has a business right now selling her glass, selling her art. We started another business called Ellie's Mad Hatter Tees that I hope when Ellie's old enough she will be able to take over.
Okay.
And it's just making t-shirts that right now that just talk about autism things on the t-shirts. And I hope that she'll be able to take that over.
Yeah.
Same with Madison and Charlie. I want to find something that really would inspire them, or really they would be passionate about enough that they would want to do it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So when we find out what those things are for the other two, I want to start businesses for each of them as well, get them running, and that way they can take over, because I really don't see them being able to handle a 9-to-5 job.
Okay.
I don't see them being able to deal with the public. You know, if we start a business for them, we can help them deal with the public. We can help them do almost every aspect of it, but then it's theirs. It's something that they can be proud of.
Right.
So
very nice.
So I don't see them just going to a workshop or just going to,
right,
you know, some type of job that
do something that interests them, that they love. And
exactly.
Absolutely. Okay. And that's one of the key things of transition. Actually, one of the positive things of transition is finding something that interests that person.
Right.
And that is such an amazing thing. It's great that you notice this way early on. I love that. That's great.
Well, disability or not, they're still people.
Yeah.
And they still have to be able to find that niche where they fit in the world. But they also have to have some self-esteem. They have to, you know, have the independence, just like all the rest of us did.
Absolutely.
And so if they can't find it on their own, I think it's my husband and my job to help them find that and find that passion where they're going to be happy. So
amazing. Yep. Very good. Thank you. And that concludes our discussion on transitioning.